It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny, oh, you've heard him say. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. On a feel-good, freaky Friday, I got to tell you, the energy this week on this show has been most impressive. I ain't playing around. I like the energy. I like the vibe. We got off to a rough start on Monday. I think, wasn't that Monday Commander was giving us the business, or was that Wednesday? And the rest of the week, he's been Mr. Positivity, looking on the bright side, finding some freshmen that can make some plays for the Irish. There's a lot to like. So I like the energy. I like the vibe. And quite frankly, there's been football news, which is kind of nice. Like you've had all the recruiting stuff right after spring ball ends. You had some good recruiting news. Now you got this schedule news. You had Dabo lashing out at Notre Dame. You had that. So I'm just saying, for the beginning of this low period of information cycle, pretty good. Pretty good. There's been things to talk about that move the needle, at least for this time of the year. So I want to get into the night game. You know, they announced the home schedule of kickoff games, kickoff times rather. Spit it out, dummy. And there's some interesting nuggets there, some of which should work in Notre Dame's favor, and some other things that I want to bring up to make you think about a different way. Because one of these really stands out. One of these games flexed into the night really stands out for a couple reasons. And then the other thing you got to think about when you're trying to figure out how all this works, remember, you're also navigating NBC's Big Ten contract. So you're also navigating what games they have there and if they want to flex it into prime time or whatever. So there's like more of a dance now with NBC on what that schedule is like. Although I'll say, man, tell you, maybe I'm wrong. I don't feel like NBC gets that many good in the Big Ten on NBC, quite frankly. So is that just always a deal of they're going to put them on Fox, or it's on the ABC or whatever? I don't know. So there's a little bit of that. Jay Carr, SMU ain't going to want that night game business on senior day. Too cold for them. Yeah, we'll get into it because that one's really, really interesting to me. That one intrigues me a great deal. And I think there's some positives there for Notre Dame. But I'm also going to find a positive there for SMU on getting flexed into this and what that could mean at that part of the year, late in the year. I just think it's really interesting. So I want to talk about some of that. And then I want to get back to something I didn't get to on Wednesday, which was expectations for Notre Dame. You're talking about, make the playoff, this and that, like these vague expectations. I've tried to hammer down some of exactly what I'm expecting from the Notre Dame defense and then CJ Carr specifically. And I want to see what you guys think about the way I'm thinking about having these high expectations for Notre Dame and what that means on the damn field where it matters the most. So thanks for being here on a Friday. I see a lot of familiar names. What a group in the morning. I tell you what, woo, baby. Woo, what a rough group in the morning. Thanks for being here. As always, you guys, you can find the program on YouTube. Most of you guys know that. If you're new here, you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. So, I continue to be amazed by the amount of people that I've run into or people have run into on my behalf. You see a guy out with the Notre Dame shirt on. Like, my parents have a pocket full of my cards. They see somebody at a restaurant with Notre Dame stuff. They introduce themselves, throw the card down, say, check out my kid. A lot of people aren't on that YouTube circuit. It feels like you want to be like anybody who likes college football is obviously on YouTube looking up their people. It isn't always like that. So send it to a friend who maybe he's never seen this before, isn't on YouTube a lot. Send it to them. Let them get in. Let them get in. So do that. We could wait, Johnny. We could call. You could call in audio only on this link I'm putting in here, if that's what you mean. These Canes fans, what is this? These Canes fans doing a lot of talking about invading South Bend. I refuse to believe it. I absolutely refuse to believe it. I hear the same thing about USC too. We're gonna come in here. And then it's the third week of October, and there's 15 USC fans, and they all look miserable because it's 55 degrees and not 82 and sunny. I don't believe it. Even if they're undefeated, I don't believe it. It is not, they're just not going to do it. There's going to be their little pocket. What do we give them? 15,000 tickets. That's what the allotment we allow for the opposition at our place. Isn't it? I think it's 15,000, something like that. We give them. Maybe it's not even that much anymore. It isn't going to be overwhelming. It isn't. If it was early September, it'd be different. I'm telling you, they ain't coming November 7th. It's not going to be an overwhelming Miami situation. It just isn't. It just isn't. Phil says, I just remembered I was supposed to grab a stack of your business cards at the tailgate. Yeah, I forget about that too. But here's what we need to do, you guys. And I brought this up to a few different people. I want to come to South Bend on a weekend in the summer with no obligations. That's what I want to do. No obligations. Just come in for the weekend, meet our people, hit Eddy Street, go on campus, hang out, do whatever we want, but without the chaos of, I have 4 meetings and every half hour I'm going to a different office, and then I got a tailgate to worry about, and I got to make sure that, and I got to go here and do that. I love doing all that stuff, but it would be nice to get back to campus without any of that stress and nothing to do but hang out with people. So if any of you guys are interested in that, maybe we could find a weekend that works for a few different groups of people, and we just meet in the middle of the summer for a weekend with nothing to do but hang out at Notre Dame. I would love to do that. So I think that'd be awesome. If any of you guys are interested, let me know. Because I just think it'd be great. Remember when Clemson was taking over the stadium in November? So these people aren't going to travel. They're not going to do that when it's bad weather. They're just not going to do it. Some of you guys have suggested like an Eddy Street bar crawl, Always Irish bar crawl. I think it was Rodney. Rodney was texting me. He's like, we need to come in the middle of the summer when it isn't that busy. And then we could just do like an Always Irish bar crawl, hit the different bars on Eddy Street, just hang out, do whatever we want. I'm all for it. We just need to figure out a weekend that works for a lot of people. A weekend that works for a lot of people, but I think that'd be awesome. No obligations. We just do what we want to do. We just do what we want to do. So I think that would be awesome. So welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here. Notifications on. That way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Shake. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Josh says, I've still never been to the linebacker. High on aura and vibes, low on amenities. That's my takeaway. High on aura and vibes, low on amenities. I know it's popular. I'm too old to have fun at a bar where it's shoulder to shoulder and I can't move and there's like one bar and it takes forever to get a beer and you can't even take a leak. I'm too old for that. When I was 22, I'm happy to do that in Wrigleyville. Ugh, all this stuff. I'm too old for it. I'm just too old. So I'm all about going to the linebacker, but not like Saturday night at 12 o'clock at night when everybody in the county's there. So I'm all about the linebacker, but I'll be more linebacker at 3 or 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon sitting on that patio rather than midnight and it's shoulder to shoulder and I can't move. I just can't handle it. But it's high on aura and vibes, but it's low on amenities, bro. It's hard to get around in there. But that's what I want to do. So maybe we need to get with people and figure out when might be a good weekend for most of the people to be able to get into town. Josh, that's what we got to do, man. We'll go and make it so we could go like if we're noon on a Saturday, right? Like get something to eat noon on a Saturday. You just got to be smart when you go. Because I do like the aura and the vibe of it being like a little dump, but it's our little dump. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a kind of a dump, but it's our dump, damn it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a vibe there. I got to get to Barnaby's, man. I'm craving that pizza. I love that pizza. I love the pizza. And the best part about it is I want to get a job there. I want to get back to Barnaby's. But the thing I love about it is they do the thing where they yell out the number when it's ready, and it provides you unlimited rhyming opportunities. It provides you unlimited rhyming opportunities when they yell out the number. Like it's calling my name. The last time we sat there for a couple hours and just were drinking pitchers of beer, and I'm listening to these guys yell out the numbers, and I want to get up there and make rhymes for them for every number they call. You know what I'm saying? Number 45, make your pizza come alive. You know what I'm saying? Number 57, this pizza's gonna put you in heaven. Like I just want the job of being the number guy. I just want to rhyme the numbers, that's all, and make silly jokes. I just want to rhyme and make silly jokes. That's it. Every bar in my area is a dive bar. I'm telling you, I don't dislike the linebacker, but it's very time specific for me. It's very time specific, okay? I just can't I'm just too old to just not be able to move and take a leak and get a beer. So it is what it is. I just want to rhyme. So I want to get back to Barnaby's, but let's figure out, somebody get to me or let me know when it might work out for a lot of people. And then we'll go ahead and I want to do it in the summer. No obligations. We just go and do whatever we want to go and do. So I think that would be fun. Notre Dame on SI, read all about it. Got an article I wrote this morning. I don't know when it's going to get posted about the schedule and some of the nuances with the schedule. So I think stay tuned for that. And then patreon.com/alwaysirish. Tell you what, I love the community and it's growing, man. It is growing. Every tailgate we have is bigger and better than the one before it. Find a rowdier tailgate group than we had for Blue and Gold. You ain't going to be able to do it. So thanks to everybody who's there. I really do appreciate it. I really do. Jay Grizz. Hey, John. I guess that autograph, Colson Montgomery autograph baseball, the kids that I gave you at the tailgate gave the White Sox some good juju. I'm not getting fooled. I still refuse to be fooled by how average the AL Central is, that if you're right around 500, you're winning the division. Like, I'm not allowing myself to be sucked in to believing that it's something it isn't. But it's pathetic to say, but the Sox being within a game or two of first place at this point of the year hasn't been a thing for a while now. So I do admit I'm watching more Sox baseball than I usually do. But I'm not fooling myself when you look at the top of that division and 500 has you right in the race. I just think it's a pretty crappy division. But the Sox they're a little better than they were last year. Only thing the Packer has going for it is its proximity to campus. Yeah, I guess. But that becomes a bad thing when everybody has the same idea. when everybody has the same idea. When are we going to do a Saturday night show? Coming up. I got a couple Saturday things I got to do with the family coming up. When we get through that and we get more back into like the dog days of summer, literally for real, we'll get back in there and we'll start doing some of those Saturday night shows. People like them. It has a good vibe. And we'll get into that. Yeah, if the Cubs won like 9 or 10 in a row. I mean, I hate them, but good for them. I don't do that. No, that's what that Cubs stuff, man. Do you mean August? Those are the dog days summer. Who amongst us out there thinks they're Tom Skilling and gets to tell me when the dog days of summer are? The dog days could be in relation to heat. They could be in reference to random animals. It could be what I'm feeling in my mind, in my heart. I get to decide what the dog days are. The dog days to me are any of these days where there's just no football. They're all the dog days. How are you guys saying the dog days are August? Says who? Who gets to determine what the dog days are? Rin Tin Tin? Lassie? Toto? Who gets to decide? Benji? Who gets to Beethoven? Who gets to decide the dog days of summer? Pat. The dog days of summer means the hottest, most oppressive stretch of the summer, usually July and August. No, the dog days of summer mean the most oppressive stretch of non-Notre Dame football in my mind. There, I've adapted the definition. The dog days summer to me are any long stretch of period without Notre Dame action. That's the dog days. I'm going to go into Dogopedia and redo that. God, this show's funny. I see a couple of you guys coming up. Singer simply stole John's slogan and used it daily. What's the slogan? Is he saying dog days? What's he saying that I say? Oh, man. The phrase, look at this, Pat. The phrase comes from ancient astronomy. It refers to Sirius, the dog star, which is part of the constellation Canis Major. How about this? I don't give an anus about your canis, okay? The dog days are any long stretch without Notre Dame football. That's the answer. That's the answer, okay? Do you think you get to change the definition? For my show purposes, the dog days are any long stretch where I don't see those gold helmets running around. Okay? Josh, that's fair. That's a good point. Okay, so let's get into some of these comments, and then I'll go to you guys, and I want to break down this schedule thing. I don't want to get off track here. Look at this. Nikki Dean loves to be art and scene. Look at this. I watched the Bush Push game last night. Man, it reminded me of last season. We had it till we didn't. The season was over. I used to rewatch that thing often, just wallowing in my misery, replaying the fourth down play to Dwayne Jarrett, how close that finger was tipping the ball, all the stuff that happened down at the goal line that shouldn't have happened. They were trying to call timeout and didn't have any. That's a flag. Where the ball went out of bounds was mismarked. That shouldn't have been. The Bush Push part was illegal, and we allowed all of it to happen in true modern vintage Notre Dame style. If it could go wrong, it'll go wrong. That's just what I've been used to in my Notre Dame life. And there was a lot that could have gone the other way. Again, Notre Dame's ended up in so many positions at big moments where if anyone just makes one more play, it's all fine, and we don't. Think in your mind how many Notre Dame instances there are where if you just made one play, the whole thing's changed, and you don't. And the other teams made the plays. It's really upsetting. Let's get into some of this. $20 holler for the commander. Happy Mother's Day to all the good mothers in the land. Here's to a bright future. Johnny, buy your wife a strong shot, yourself an ice cold ultra light. I think he means Miller, but I get the sentiment. Thanks for the entertaining shows. Got to tell you, man, it's good to have a guy like the Commander keep you on edge because you never know what angle he's coming from. You never know what angle the Commander's coming from. Domer fan Sully. I'm all about challenging the Freeman doubters. I have the numbers to prove we're trending up in all competitive categories. How about this, Sully? I got to try and play. I got to try and be fair. I'm going to play the devil's advocate with you on this one. How about this? How are you going to tell me we're trending straight up in all competitive categories when you went to the championship one year and then you missed the playoff the next? How can you tell me that is straight up trajectory in the right direction when you miss the playoff? That's the question you're going to get. And it's like, well, they won 10 in a row and the playoff committee screwed us and all this stuff. And it was, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you on the surface. If you were to approach me and I'm in this mind space and you ask me, they're trending up in all competitive categories, I'd say, what about the one that matters the most, making the postseason tournament? You missed it. How's that trending up? You got to sell me that result is trending up. It hurts, and I don't like taking that position. But if you're a hardliner on that side of this, that's your argument. Tell me you're trending up when you missed the playoff tournament last year. Son of a buck on the playoff. Unbelievable. Here we go. Renee. He's got some good answers. The last coach to beat Signetti, the Signetti trash. Out-coached the last SEC coach to win a natty. Only Notre Dame coach to win 2 major bowls in a week. Only ND coach to win 14 games. Solely adds, getting recruits that would have otherwise chosen SEC schools come to South Bend instead of staying in the Deep South. I like that. Solely again, John needs to start the 2-minute drill. Maybe we do 2-minute drill Fridays where you just call up and you pump up Notre Dame as much as you want for 2 minutes. And then you go on back to your day and you go back to your boss and tell him you were working the whole time when you really went in a closet to call me. We could do that. Jay Carr. Now that the Michigan State game is a night game, I'm shifting all my worries towards Conalanga's rise. 1-3 in home openers. No FBS wins. And John is overlooking Rice. One of my notes is seeing the Michigan State games flexed into a night game puts more. It's one of my bullet points. It puts a big circle on Rice. And again, I still maintain this. People don't like it. Notre Dame haters are going to say it comes off arrogant. I don't care. I really believe this. This particular regular season, I wouldn't say this about every schedule. This particular Notre Dame regular season is so much more about what Notre Dame does than what the other teams do. And I say that just because I think we have more raw talent than, at a minimum, 11 of the 12 teams we play. And that, if you take care of business, puts you in a good position for the year. As long as you handle your due diligence. Might even be 12 for 12. But for now, let's say you have more talent than 11 of the 12 teams, which means if both teams play well, you should win. This particular regular season is about what Notre Dame does. But I agree with you. When I saw Michigan State at night, I went right to Rice. It's got all the markings, man. Sleepy. Maybe you're sitting there crying because Lou's gone. It's first home game. It's going to be hot. And all the Irish people there, all pale, not used to the heat. I see them melting every time. It can get quiet in there when it's real hot. It really can. So I don't know. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Mikey pulls. Rice should have been a night game, so the Always Irish tailgate is more time to drink more beer. Notre Dame should know this. Flex Rice into the night game. If Coach Freeman loses 3 games off this schedule with the hype surrounding this season, is that a fireable offense like it was for LSU and Penn State? The issue is, here's the issue with this. Number one is, unless every starter on the team shatters their ACL the first week of August, I don't physically see how this is possible. But here's the issue, and I warned Penn State about this too. You got to be careful thinking the grass is always greener on the other side. You could get so high on your haunches and fire a guy and then replace him with the guy that isn't as good, and you're in a worse spot. Like I was trying to tell Penn State people, the issue they had is they thought they were more than they are as a program. That's the issue that I had with Penn State. They thought more of themselves as a program than they were in reality. And that's dangerous. You fire James Franklin, you might end up in a worse spot. I don't know. So, but man, for Notre Dame to lose 3 games on this schedule, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around. 10-2, and you're in that Pop-Tart Bowl, and I don't think you could say no twice. Dabo Swinney's going to call in today, complain directly to John about Notre Dame. You put 9 guys in the NFL draft, 4th most of any team, and you only won 7 games in the horrible, boring, yawn fest, average ACC. I would look internally before I get mad that Notre Dame has resources. Also, here's the other thing. I can't change if Clemson doesn't have enough big-time donors to fund NIL to the level they want. There's nothing I can do to change that. Dabo's not a prisoner. No one's making you work there. If you're really upset about the lack of resources, retire or go work somewhere where they have better resources. Because the issue is, I don't get the sense there's a bunch of billionaire diehard Clemson fans that are just not ponying up for NIL. I don't think that's the ask. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't feel like there's a bunch of those Clemson billionaires that love the football but aren't writing checks to help. I think it just is what it is, and it isn't enough. And I don't know how to change that. No one that has the money that loves Clemson football is like just refusing to help, probably, unless some of them are already done with Dabo or whatever. So I just think it's an instance of they don't have enough of those people that can write enough of those checks at that level to get it where, well, then you need to retire or go work somewhere with better resources. I don't know what else to tell you, dude. It is what it is. You're the one choosing to work there for 30 years or whatever. Go somewhere else if you don't like it. Domer guy Johnny will say, no, don't fire coach if he bombs with 3 or more losses. But LSU, Penn State fired their guys, and LSU had the hardest schedule of the season. Here's the part of this you're not calculating, though. You gotta take stock of things on the field and off the field if you're going to do that. Things were going horrible off the field with Kelly. He was doing the whole thing, not wanting to recruit. They were mad at him about that. Mean to the boosters, going to the golf events, but being a dick in the food thing, and then that put a bad taste in the people's mouths that lined up to write a big check. But Kelly doesn't want to be with the people taking autographs and talking to him. He wants to be in a private room eating his steak alone at the donor event where no one can bother him. Bro. So, where is the recruiting trending? How is the relationship with the donors? How's the relationship with the administration? If you're going to make a decision like that, you got to take stock of a lot of different things. The on-field one should outweigh some other things, but you got to look at all of it. Kelly was having problems in a lot of those very familiar areas. So I don't know. But 3 losses with this schedule is almost unbelievable. Unless everybody breaks their leg in half. I sincerely mean that. I do. Commander, young buck Rodney Dunham going to unleash fury like we haven't seen since Lynch was bringing the heat. I do actually like the comp of a young guy flying off the edge. Here's a thought. Some of these guys that are younger, sometimes I think that benefits you because you don't even know enough all the different things you should be thinking about out there. Sometimes it's better if it's just like, hey, man, just go. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just hey, man, just go. Get after the quarterback. Don't overthink it. Just get after him and just go. He's going to be heavy in that rotation. He is not coming out. He's going to be heavy in that rotation. Or I guess he is going to come out. But I mean, he's going to be in that main rotation. So I don't care whether he's early or not, young or not. My early vote for most improved position group is kicker. Sounds like the guy barely missed all spring. And Ryan Rolls said next best is going to be the holder too. Hopefully you can get that figured out. Roddy Dunham is a sack machine. I like that. I like that very much. John, does your house have a roof that's intact? Having some issues with the insurance company. They're telling me the hail came in at an angle and only destroyed the shingles that are like into where the hail was coming from. And on the other side, it's not as damaged. So they only want to do half the roof. I got gutters that are busted. I got everything else. That's what they're telling me is, well, we could see from the angle of where this is, you only have the major damage on the side where it hit. And on the backside against the wind, you don't have that issue. I don't like it. What am I going to do with half a roof? Half a insurance. I'm telling you, medical stuff and insurance, it's some of the biggest scams in the world. Pigskin Hour, $5 hour. Rico from the College Pigskin Hour. Tight end unit is turned into a blocking unit. Does this influence your expectations for the wide receiver and the running back groups? Tell you this right now, man. That's a good question. If I'm not getting a tight end that's going to go out there and be a 3rd down and 7 target, a red zone target, a 1st down marker target, number one is the receivers and the running backs better step it up and cover that production. And number 2 is you better block the shit out of everybody then. If we're going into this scenario, we're not having like a pass catching tight end as a thing, you better road grade people when you're out there blocking them. I'm a little uncomfortable with Notre Dame getting away from like the Michael Mayer, Tyler Eifert, catch the ball type stuff. So those other groups better pick it up on the production, and then those guys better get after it blocking, and I think they will. $5 hour, Nikki Dean loves to be heard and seen. Oh, I already did that with the push. I know I'm not doing it again. That would make me sick to my stomach on a Friday morning, man. $2 hour for the catfish. They shouldn't have missed it, Johnny. Come on. $20 hour from Tom. Tommy and Chris, you guys are the best, man. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for all the stuff you guys made and brought and did for the tailgate, man. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. Does it say in the policy they can only cover half the roof? Who knows, bro? They sent me over 98 pages of paperwork with writing this small. I don't know. But it's just, oh, yeah, you got all that damage on where the hail came in. But then on the backside, I guess I should just be glad my house is still standing, because if that storm was another like mile from where it was, I mean, this house would probably be gone. I remember standing on that pool deck so I could get over all the neighborhood fences and everything looking. And all you could see was that like greenish sky and just a big rotating globe. I couldn't even see the tornado because of all the crap kicked up in it at the bottom. All I could see is just that big. It was like turquoise green spinning globe kind of at the top is what I saw. And it cut behind the house and went right to Indiana, right behind our house. And it was really weird. It was really weird because it was so calm. It was like a hurricane. All of that energy was wrapped up right in the tornado, and me right out of that band. It was nothing. No wind, no rain, no hail, no nothing. It was completely still with all that devastation right over there. It was amazing. It was like an energy vortex, man. It was like an energy vortex. It was very weird. But yeah, man, if that thing was over a little bit, I don't know, man. The house might be gone. It was amazing. It was amazing. I had a contractor walk with the insurance adjuster. Yeah, that's what I did too. I had the private contractor look at it first. Then when he said there's damage and gave me all the pictures, then we had the insurance guy come with him, and they're still being difficult. Kent's asking, is anybody seeing the Mortal Kombat? It's another type of movie where I don't understand. I've seen the ads for it. I don't know what it just looks like, a bunch of samurai fighting, and it's all the same to me. I don't know who's on what side and why. I don't understand the concept. So yeah, I don't know. John, you got a storm cellar? Yeah, I'm in it right now. You're looking at the storm cellar. I'm in it right now. So as long as I had the internet, I guess I could have no upstairs and just do the show from down here. I don't know. I don't know, man. Southwest Texas. That's a new one. What's up, buddy?
Hey, is this thing on?
Yeah, what's going on? Welcome.
Yeah, hey, this is Skeeter.
What's up, Skeet? It's Skeet. What's up?
Yeah, I skeet everywhere. So, yeah, this is
good
pretty.
Morning
This
to you
is
too.
good morning, everybody. This is pretty cool here, and this Texas heat skeeters, real bad down here. Just got a few things to talk about here.
Sure.
You know, I've been recently seeing all these people, talking all this smack on Marcus. I just really think he's the greatest ever.
Yeah, so I do. It's very, very difficult, man. First off, thank you. First time caller. I love it. It's a challenge to appreciate and recognize all of the good things Marcus Freeman's done, but also admit there's some things he's got to get better at to get this thing over the finish line, right? So where do you fall on that?
Well, where I fall on it, I have a really high IQ on this subject here. I played biddy league, so I know all the funny fundamentals of this sport. And this WPP guy, back when I knew him, he was just LWPP, little white Peter Puffer. And quite frankly, he's just really just been ticking me off, and it's really hard to say, how I really feel about it. But last year at the tailgate, me and him was sword fighting in the handicap stall, and he said that if I won, he would never talk smack about Marcus Freeman ever again, and I did win. So, and he's been talking some smack.
Yeah, he's been known to do that. I just okay, like for as much as I appreciate all that Marcus has done, and I think he's the perfect man for the Notre Dame head job right now. The perfect man. He really is. I need him to have better Septembers, and I need him to protect home field better. Do you agree with me? Those couple things he's got to tighten up to get this thing to the final level.
Well, really, what do we consider as home field, because wherever they go, they can make home,
Yeah, I get like the September slip ups, that stuff's gotta end. But man, Marcus Freeman's the perfect guy for this job right now. He's the perfect guy for this job.
Yeah, I agree. 100% perfect. They couldn't have hired a better person. There's nobody else on planet Earth that could be coaching Notre Dame football this coming year. And quite frankly, it has been awesome. It's awesome having Marcus coaching this team. And can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Yeah.
Skeet, let me ask you this. What is your concern level, if you're that big of a Marcus Freeman fan, what is your concern level about him in the NFL? Or do you think he's starting to realize, you know what, I got it pretty good at Notre Dame. They're supporting me pretty well. Things are going well. And, I got a big family who has roots in South Bend. Now, maybe I could stick around here for a while longer. Like, what's your fear meter on him skipping to the NFL?
No fear whatsoever.
So you think he's bought into South Bend, and the thing last year was just to do like the proper due diligence and understand what NFL jobs are like and learn about it? Like, so you don't think there's anything else there?
Yeah. There's none. He's 100% Irish. I've seen what he can do. Everybody's seen what he can do. He is greatness. Notre Dame is greatness, and South Bend is greatness.
I like that, man. So are you really in Southwest Texas then? What's life like as a Notre Dame fan down in that area? I don't have a lot of contacts there.
Well, just like anybody else, I was born from my mother in a different state than a lot of people. Um, and yeah, just growing up here has been pretty dry. It's pretty dry down here. A lot of work and it's pretty hard to make it to some home games. But I made it to the last one, like I said, when me and WPP sword fought. That was a good, Texas A&M. That's the spring game there. That was a pretty good one. We lost, but we recouped. We did, phenomenal.
Yeah, man. I love that. And so what is your confidence for this year, Skeet? You thinking they can run the table? You think 11-1 they slip up somewhere, or do you think this is a year they just run it right to that playoff? What would you
we're going to take it all the way. Taking it all the way.
Ooh, okay. I like your positivity, but I do have to ask, is there anything that worries you or causes you a little anxiety for this regular season? Carr's development? Do you fully trust Ash replacing the running backs? Like, is there anything that's on your radar, or do you just have supreme Irish confidence?
15-0. 15-0 champs.
Man, that's a lot of confidence. And smart move by you, too, to subtract that one game for 16. Because if Notre Dame's 12-0, they should have the bye, and it would only be a 3 games required to win it. Good math by you, Tex.
Yeah. And I do just want to say, I'll take WPP on a date if he leaves. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, it's if Notre Dame runs the table and does all this, then everybody's good in my world. Everybody's going to be invited to the after party. So, Tex, what are you going to do the rest of the summer till college football's back, man? I mean, is that like your thing you're waiting on every single day, or do you have other things to entertain you?
Yeah, I like to play golf. I like to bowl. I throw some cornhole bags, part of the ACL, the American Cornhole League. I like to manscape my beard, take care of myself, and go to work.
Man, that sounds like a productive, full life, my friend. I appreciate that, putting in that work down there in Southwest Texas. Anything else you want to cover, Skeet? I'm glad you joined us. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really been a true honor to join this show and be a part of this family here. Don't really have too much more to say other than Marcus Freeman is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, just like Maktar Njai, if you know him. He's been truly the best, coach that Notre Dame has ever had.
Man,
I love him.
listen,
I love him.
Skeeter, I appreciate you joining. Make sure you join again, man. Whenever you get a chance, I really appreciate you jumping in.
Yeah. Yep.
Have a good one, buddy. Thanks. Dude, I love getting new callers. I couldn't tell whether he wanted to show his face or not, or did it on accident.
Show your face. We want to see your face.
Yeah. Who said that? You want to see my face? Go on. How much time you got, buddy? Don't let the media tell you how to think and feel.
Oh, I love my sound drops. I don't even care if everyone else said they hated them. I don't care. I love my sound drops. Okay, so let me get to this. John knows I ain't Ronald. Yeah, I'm waiting on Ronald to come back. Correct me if I'm wrong. We get into these weird months where there's no football, and we forget some of the people that are regularly here. There were many post-game shows where we had Ronald McDonald, Wendy, and the Burger King all in the post-game show. Where are those guys? Cleaning out the fry machine until the season comes back? There were some months there where we literally had Wendy, the Burger King, and Ronald. And Omar. Where's Omar? I want Omar back, damn it. He makes me feel good about myself. Like I want Omar's kind of guy I want to pay to just follow me around and pump me up and make me feel better than I am. Give me some confidence. So real quick, all right, we got a couple people want to join. I think they're working. Let's see what we do. Where's the Chief? Yeah, the Chief's out shark hunt until football comes back. ND still, what up?
Hey, how you doing, John? Hey, give me like 10 seconds. I'm about to pull over.
All right.
Hey, but I want your back and forth on this. As far as Marcus Freeman and the NFL, my only concern about Marcus Freeman and the NFL is him living in South Bend. I'm from South Bend, and I guarantee you that at some point he gonna get tired of staying there, you know. But
man, doesn't it help when you got a half dozen young kids that all have roots in South Bend, though, man?
It does, because I've been around, and I would rather raise them there than at least where I'm at right now, you know. So, all right, the thing about I think Notre Dame needs to do everything they have to do to get Marcus Freeman to be a lifetime coach. Now, what's a lifetime coach in this era of college football?
Yeah, man, I mean, you're looking at what, like the average Urban Smart track, where like you're just that guy and
Like between like 10 and 12 years, maybe 15. He's been there 5 years, and I promise you, it feels like 2 years. So, as far as being there for 10 years, he's halfway there.
I'm telling you though, man, being the Notre Dame coach is a unique stress, man. It ages you worse than being in wars and being a president, man.
It does. Hey, okay, here's my last thing. As far as what I'm going to do between now and the college football season, I'm going to try my best to not click on BS thumbnails. Hey, the other day I seen one that said the top 10 QBs in college football. Then the guy had 17 honorable mentions. I'm like, what? You might as well just say the top 25 teams, and here's the quarterbacks. Well, how you gonna have a top 10 and then 17 honorable mentions? I said, oh, it's clickbait, man. I listened to it. I heard the CJ Carr part, then I turned off it, you know.
Man, that's weird. Hey, people are saying they can't hear me. What the hell's going on here?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm surprised I can. I don't see how they can't hear you.
That's what I'm wondering. What the hell's going on here?
All right, John. Hey, I pulled over and I stopped. Hey, you have a fantastic show. Hey, I love watching your show. The only show I'm going to watch between now and the season is this show and maybe Lucky Lefty, but they kind of go off a little bit to the side. So, you know, I dip in there and dip out. But, hey, I can't wait for this season, man. Hey, go 11-1, 12-0. I'll accept 11-1 because I like that loss to come, you know, late in the season to where it give them a wake up. And I'm not worried about our team, man. The only thing I'm worried about is us having this quote-unquote soft schedule, and we think we're better than what we really are, you know. Just like Ohio State last year. I kept telling people, look, Ohio State, they haven't played nobody yet. Hey, it's Ohio State fan I was talking to. I said, hey, man, you want them to lose this game right here, man. He's like, what? I said, because they ain't played nobody, and they probably think they're really good, you know. Hey, and what happened? They lost to Miami, who only reason why they was mentioned was because they beat Notre Dame. Only reason why they was mentioned at all, you know.
Yeah.
But I get out of here before I be too late. But I'll listen to what you're saying,
man. Hey, thanks a lot for joining. Hop in whenever you can and be safe out there on the roads.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Have a good one, man. I'm telling you what, that guy's a working man. Okay, now somebody tell me, can you hear me now? Was it a factor of his truck was rattling around and it adjusted my volume because his was so loud? Somebody write in there, can you hear me? Am I back? Because then that would be the issue, that all that rattling. Okay, he was loud. I'm showing my levels are okay. All right, good. We're good. So yeah, what's the number to compliment his driving? Who said something about Omar too? Said something. You know what? I'll tell you this about me and Omar. We had a phone conversation a couple weeks ago, and it got recorded and some of it leaked. Here's some of the phone conversation between my man Omar and myself.
Do you like me?
I do like you.
You are my friend?
You're a nice young man, and I am your friend.
You will be my boyfriend.
Yeah, I won't be your boyfriend.
Why not? You do
Well,
not
I
like
can be.
me?
Yeah, I can be. No, boyfriend, yeah, I can.
You will be my boyfriend. I don't even care if nobody understands that reference or where it's from. I did, damn it. And I enjoyed it. You will be my boyfriend. All right, let me get into this real quick. Let me get into this. I got to go over this schedule. Give me like 2 minutes here to go over the schedule, and then I'll bring you guys in to react, okay? So I want to get into these night games. If I don't do it now, Johnny really is 14 years old. You're damn right. You're damn right. I'm never going to change. You will be my boyfriend. Very nice. How much? And so here's the deal. They announced, so this is only for the home games, right? Because like NBC or whatever. So they released the home game situation here. Okay. Wisconsin night game, obviously Sunday night, Shamrock in it's the weird weekend where it's a 3-day weekend. So the games are spread out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It all makes perfect sense that that's a night game. Not a surprise. Everybody expected it. Michigan State as a night game. That's interesting a little bit. And it's a good way to avoid the sleepy day game phenomenon. Although Michigan State's still a name that kind of moves the needle a little bit, but they've been so down. They've been so down that it doesn't have to, it's not like the 66-10-10 tie. And it isn't anything like we're going to play D'Antonio, Michigan State, and this is going to be a physical defensive run game battle. We're going to see who's tougher. You don't have that either. But the Michigan State brand still moves the needle a little bit. Bobo, that is. Physical or mental. Oh, man. That is not what we're saying about that man. He's no longer working. Oh, what a good scene. What a good scene. The feminist one's good too. What it means that it's a feminism. So Michigan State going tonight is a good way to avoid like an early season sleepy day at Notre Dame or whatever. But it does make me circle Rice even more. It makes me circle Rice even more as the sleepiest walkthrough of all time. So you just got to be good enough to not fall into that trap. And if this roster isn't good enough to not fall into that trap, boy, I can't help you. I can't help you. So and then Miami's the night game, obviously. Here's what I want to know. Could that night game be a battle for number one? That's my question about that game. Could that be a battle to be number one? Because you will never get this. Could that be a battle for number one? If both of those teams take care of business, they should both be undefeated. Pat, who else that's going to be ranked ahead of Miami and Notre Dame is also going to run the table into the first week of November? I find that hard to believe. If they both take care of business, it's a battle for number one. When you when you look at the teams that like we think are going to be ranked near the top 5 starting all this, I'm not sure how many of them are going to get to early November without a loss. Notre Dame and Miami both should be in a position to maybe do that. Could be a battle for number 1. And then there's going to be some people even asking if they want it to be a battle for number 1. There's some people who maybe don't even want that bad juju, like the target on your back, to be number 1. So I don't know. Kent says, or it could be a battle for the last playoff seed again. Yeah. Yeah. If Notre Dame enters that game with a loss, you're battling for your playoff life against Miami again. And if you lose it, you might have to accept the Pop-Tart game and sit up there with the stupid smile on your dumb face and accept a trophy that's a Pop-Tart. Like, that's how thin the margin is on this schedule. It's a difference, but a 1-game difference could be between hosting a playoff game or even getting a bye, or you're in the Pop-Tarts Bowl again. So I don't know, man. But Kent's not wrong about that. If Notre Dame, if this goes sideways on you, you're in a real bad spot. You're in a real bad spot. Freaking Rice, dude. Weren't you just saying, don't come at me with Rice? It shouldn't be an issue. But don't come at me with Northern Illinois. Don't come at me with Stanford. Don't come at me with Marshall. So there's both sides of it. On paper, you should blow them out. Yeah, same could be said for Northern and Marshall and Stanford. So it's just got to be different. It's just got to be different. But it's maybe you'll have some Lou juice because you're excited on or Lou. I don't know. Just telling you. Then here's the one that's interesting, though. SMU. Night game. This intrigues me. I don't recall senior days being at night. Do you guys? Someone tell me, when is the last time Notre Dame senior day was at night? I want to know. So I think that's weird. So it's going to be late November, cold, and it's going to be a night game for senior day. That's very, very interesting. If Notre Dame is in proper playoff position, this could be really fun. Really fun. Even though it's going to be cold, if Notre Dame is in playoff position, it's going to be popping. Like, people will show up and be loud for night game, even when it's cold, if you're in proper playoff position and it's the last home game. If it isn't, forget it. Like, this is just going to be horrible. But if Notre Dame's in playoff position, that could be really, really fun. Florida State 2018 was at night and senior day. So, okay, there's precedent for this. I just feel like it is rare. So that's going to be interesting. But if Notre Dame's in playoff position, it'll have good energy, good vibe. Everything will be fine. If you're not, then I'm not really worried about it either way. You've already failed this season. Here's the flip side of it, though. And I want to know if any of you guys have thought of this too. It does kind of pump up SMU a great deal. And I know that shouldn't matter, and you should be ready to play whether it's a 2:30 start or a 7:30 start. But there is an element of, Notre Dame's making us a big game, and we're going to go in there and we're going to ruin all their stuff. And SMU might be in playoff position by that time. Like, I'm not acting like I'm intimately familiar with all of their scheduling and everything, but like SMU may be in a good position too. So this is really interesting. But by flexing the game to a night game, you're saying to SMU, we value you at that level of like, you're getting a night game at Notre Dame. So they're going to want to go in there and beat you. Further their playoff hopes, ruin yours, whatever it is. You got to hope by that time, Notre Dame is rolling. Notre Dame's rolling. They got one loss. They have no losses. They're in prime playoff position with 2 games left. Last home game. Send the seniors out. Like, you got to hope there's momentum. There's been some really fun senior days when Notre Dame is in good playoff position. So I don't know. The other thing that I run into too is sometimes it's hard for me to estimate the vibes of games later in the season because there's so much football before then. You don't know what the circumstances are. Notre Dame, Miami could be for number one and have game day or everything, or both teams choke and have 2 losses and it's like not what it should be. I don't know. But it's like, I struggle with that. And you know, the one that I really struggle with is when USC, it was the last game of the year at the Coliseum on Thanksgiving weekend. I always struggled looking at that game down the road ahead because there's 11 games each team's playing. It's like, what's the vibe going to be for Notre Dame and USC? Well, I don't know. Are both teams in playoff position the last game of the year, or does USC have 4 losses? It's really, really hard to figure that out when the teams are later down the road. So I don't know. Andrew, I think the schedule is NBC thinking they're a title contender. NBC gets the Big Ten game, so they want to feature ND because Fox has probably taken a lot of Ohio State and Michigan. Okay. Hey guys, Wisconsin is the team to beat. They're returning their entire offensive line that was actually good and huge. A QB that was hurt early this season and could run with a good defensive line. You got to be on high alert first game of the year. But man, I'm telling you, if ever there were 2 programs in different positions and 2 coaches in 2 different positions, this is it. So you better be ready for it. $10 olive from Mr. Rogers or Rogers. With Texas Tech losing their QB, BYU's the next runner-up for the Big 12 Conference champ. Miami and SMU have the 2 best odds to win the ACC. So Notre Dame has 2 potential conference champs. Look at that weak schedule everybody gave Notre Dame a hard time for. Look at it now. Getting better by the day. Jennings can be dangerous when he's on. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Everybody can be dangerous when they're hot, baby. I don't know. Let's see. Terrence, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, my man?
Hey, nothing. Thanks for the patience waiting there while I went off on a bunch of tangents. What's your mind about, man? You got any thoughts on this schedule or what?
I'm just thinking, like, man, we all talking about a weak schedule. What if, man, like, Indiana not as good this year and Wisconsin be better than what we thought they are, and they go on a run and they're going to run and win and get to the Big Ten championship game, or Michigan State go on a run and get there, man. You never know, man. Football seasons are weird.
You know what, Terrence? Every summer, every offseason, it's easy to pull the schedule up on your phone and you look through it and you're just your first glance. Oh, win, loss, win. You go down the line. Once the games start, man, it never works out exactly what you thought. There are always teams you think are going to be good that don't play as good as what they think. And some teams that outplay what people, you never know. That's why you play the games.
Exactly. I mean, look at a couple years ago, man. Look at the Florida State team, man, that we thought was going to be really, really good, and they turned out to be horrible.
Terrence, let me ask you this. How much do you buy into this stuff, man? Where's the line, Terrence, between I have confidence in my squad versus you got to respect every opponent and be aware and be on alert and everything? That's the line I try and straddle of having confidence in my team, but not overdoing it to where it becomes reckless and dangerous. How do you straddle that line of being confident, but not cocky? Because Notre Dame's shown you can't just roll the ball out there and think you're going to win.
Okay, this is the thing. This is how I feel about, like I always told you, man, they got to get through September. If they get through September undefeated, man, watch out. I mean, they might finish. I'm going to give them about a 90% chance of finishing the season undefeated if they get through September undefeated. But September always scared me, so I straddle the line like, man, we don't know how good Wisconsin is. We only go by what ESPN and the rest of the guys tell us. We don't know how good they are. I mean, somebody just mentioned they had an offensive line. I don't follow Wisconsin, so that somebody just mentioned that hey, they got an offensive line that's coming back that's pretty good. So we have to see. It's just a wait and see approach. Once we get to where we need to get to, man, I think we should be fine, man. We can get through. Like I said, we get through September undefeated, we'll be fine.
Yeah, and again, bringing it back to Freeman, man, like it is his job to get these guys' minds right to where they should beat the teams you have more talent than, and not have any of these September slip-ups. Protect your own field a little bit better. Like that's what I'm looking out of Marcus. He's not the new guy anymore. He should be hitting his coaching stride. Get these guys in the right mental space to go perform. Damn it!
This might be the best coaching staff that he had since he been at Notre Dame. So. It's not just the head coach. It's just not the head coach that needs to get these guys together. It's the position coaches helping them get them ready for what's the name, man. If the position coaches is lacking, the head coach oversees the whole team, but man, he can't oversee everything. He don't see everything. So if the position coaches and coordinators is slacking, guess what? The defense or the offense is gonna slack that week. So I'm just hoping that, man, maybe we get it up and, man, we ramp up and we go full stride and going into the Wisconsin game, man, and we can finish this September undefeated. I feel like we finished the season undefeated.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that a lot. I'm telling you, this schedule that looked like it was going to be a cakewalk, you could talk yourself into seeing some of these teams being way more competitive than a lot of people think on paper. And it may actually work if Notre Dame can navigate it the right way. It may help Notre Dame if a lot of these teams are better than we think, but as long as you handle your business.
Yeah, as long as we handle the business, I don't want to go into the Miami game because I don't see Miami getting to that game undefeated. It's just like Marcus Freeman have his ups and downs in September. Cristobal has his ups and downs in October. So, he lost 2 games in October last year. So it could be, I don't want to go in there where we got 2 losses or 1 loss and Miami coming in with 1 or 2 losses.
Yeah.
Just as well as they get.
The Miami thing, it is, and I know they like what they have going on defense. Their new defense coordinator that came over is doing a really good job. I know all that. But, man, it's hard for me to believe their defense is going to be at the same level after they lost those 2 animals up front, man. Like, that's hard to replace because those, like, Mesidor and Bain were the 2 guys that made that defense a nightmare. Man, there's no way they could be that good having to replace those 2 guys, in my opinion.
It's just a wait and see. I mean, they got the Lightfoot kid from Chicago, but he haven't proven anything yet because he haven't really played. So, we got to see what's going on. Just like I can't see them coming into that game undefeated, but I can see a situation where Notre Dame is going into that game undefeated, possibly ranked number 1, and it's a night game. And man, it might be. Hopefully, it'd be like 50 below.
Hey, I don't care. I will tailgate with. I want ice. I want sleet. I want wind. I want that lake effect, baby.
And they might come in there like, man, we don't even want to get off the bus. Wow, this is not what we signed up for. But man, I just, we have seen Miami with some of the best teams, and then they go into November, go in that cold weather, and they lose. Yeah. So we that's what I'm hoping for, man. I'm hoping that, hey, maybe we could be their 3rd loss, and we ain't got to worry about them even talking about we deserve a chance to be in the playoff.
What about SMU, man? Is that a sleeper game Notre Dame needs to be worried about? Like, they feel like one of those teams. Somebody said they remind you of BYU, where like they're just gonna play really, really hard, and they're like one of those teams that can pull upsets. They got the one over Miami last year. Like, what should we think about SMU? Or is it so late in the year you don't really have an opinion till you see what the situation is for both teams as the game gets near?
Right. And that's another situation. We could be looking at a 3-loss SMU team or a team that's in the top 10 coming to, South Bend. Either way, But I like their chances of getting to the game in the top 10 than I like Miami chances. It's only because of Cristobal doesn't win in October. I mean, you don't win in September, you still got an opportunity. You lose a game in September, you still got an opportunity to roll into the playoffs, as long as you get it going and you don't lose any more. But he lost 2 games last year in October, and he always seemed to find a way to lose to teams that he don't supposed to lose to.
Yeah, it's man, it is just and maybe we're making the mistake that the fans make looking at all of this in totality. Man, I wish I had the ability to just be like, man, I'm all focused on Wisconsin and that's all that matters. And I'm not thinking of anything after it. Just it's all about Wisconsin, get to 1-0 and then get to 2-0. But when you're doing fan stuff and content stuff, you look at the totality. It's natural, but it's dangerous to try and look at these schedules at a time. I know it's dangerous.
I mean, the game that I'm looking at, man, that scares me is the BYU game because, man, ain't nothing more than 60 to 70 or 80,000 drunk Mormons on the camp in Provo.
Are they allowed to do that? Terrence,
man, yes.
Are they even allowed to do that?
No, they don't, but they do it anyway. You know, they've been up drinking beer all morning, and if that's a night, and if the game in Provo is a night game, man, you know, it throws Notre Dame off. Like, dog, we used to playing at 6 o'clock. Now we're playing at 9 o'clock. So, I mean, man, it's going to be crazy because of, man, and nothing like a bunch of drunk Mormons and Polynesians on campus going buck wild because of Notre Dame is in town.
Oh, man. You know they want a piece too. And BYU has an extra chip on their shoulder because they feel that Notre Dame ducked them in the Pop-Tart Bowl. And they got they're bitter about that. They feel like we ducked them. They're going to want a piece. I believe their coach is the perfect BYU coach. I'm glad he didn't go to Penn State. I don't see that as a fit when that guy was flirting with Penn State. Sataki back there, he's the perfect fit for their culture. They're going to want a piece of Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's got to be strong enough to go out there, collect a good late night win on the West, and come back.
And the good thing about this game is that Notre Dame is like a better version of what Texas Tech was. They're fast, they're physical. Man, you know, you jump out on BYU early, I don't see them finding a way to even get back in that game. I like Brock, the quarterback that they got. I like him a lot. I remember when Notre Dame was recruiting him real heavy, man. I was like, man, you know, I was kind of upset that one guy that don't know where he want to be at. I was upset that he even committed, but I was kind of happy at the same time he committed. But I like the quarterback from BYU, but man, I don't think that's enough, man. Not for this Notre Dame team, but if Notre Dame go out there sleepwalking, man, all them drunk Mormons and Polynesians, man, it might get ugly for Notre Dame if they go out there sleepwalking.
Anything could happen in these football games, my friend. So I don't know. You got to be on alert for all of them, but enter these games with confidence. Anything else, Terrence? Thanks for jumping in.
That was it. Man, you have a good one, and go Irish, man.
Go Irish. Terrence, have a good weekend, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. Be good out there. Catfish, $2 howler. What's your trap game? Mine is BC. Here's the deal with this. Look at the game before BC. Look at the game before BC. It's Miami. So those of you old enough are going to remember the dynamic of 93, and you have a huge game against a team from Florida with everything on the line at home. And all of the energy is jammed into that weekend. And then what happens the next week if you sleepwalk? Okay. So if you're old enough, you'll know you have that on your radar there. And so I will say, though, like BC's particularly not good these days and has no juice as a program to speak of whatsoever. But I just think it is interesting that game comes right after Miami. So I'm on alert for that. Couple people popped in and then popped out. Jump back in and I'll add you in. I don't know if people's Wi-Fi's cutting out or what the deal is. 559, what up?
What up, John? Give me a second, man. I'm trying to. Man, you already know how it is, bro. Look, this is what we do, man. This is what Notre Dame looks like, my boy. All day, every day. We work like a champion and we play like a champion.
I like that, man. Hey, what's on your mind regarding this schedule and these kickoff times? What do you think about all that?
Man, it's go time, my boy. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about, bruh. Like, y'all need to understand, Marcus Freeman has this team completely focused. They're on this revenge tour. I don't give a shit what game of the week it is. We're going to go in there and leave no doubt. All game, 4 quarters of King Up to Mile type of football. We ain't going to take no shit from nobody. We're going to go in there and handle our business. And we're not going to leave no doubt to nobody so they can talk their shit. We're going to handle our own goddamn business, all right? This is what we're going to need to do. This is what we should have done last year. And this is what we're going to be doing, all right? We ain't going to leave no goddamn doubt. We ain't going to leave nobody telling us what we should and should not be doing.
Oh, no. I hope he didn't just fall off whatever that contraption was he was hanging on. Did he just fall? What happened? I hope. Are you alive?
Yeah, bro. It's just like, man, I'm telling you, bro, like this shit it gets me fired up, bro. Like, what the hell are we talking about? Like, trap game is and trap game is. You're the goddamn trap. Y'all tripping too damn much. We just gotta worry about us and us only. We just gotta stay focused, be vigilant, and be supportive.
Let me ask you this question. James, I see you. I'm going to bring you up next. I want to know, how do you balance the confidence in your team without getting into cocky territory where it's dangerous?
The humiliation that we went through last year as a football team, as a program, as a head coach, as everything that goes with it, that we let ourselves get full of it, and it was sooner or later we were going to get humbled. And that come to Jesus moment came last year for us. And it came into our coaching staff as well. I think that Marcus Freeman has everybody on focus, has everybody on alert, has everybody tune in to how big the state is and how embarrassing it is if you leave it up to the committee if you don't handle your business. And I think that's why CJ Carr has that moxie, that talky shit that he has going on right now. And all of us do. Like, I really do. I really, really do believe that we're not going to take nothing. And all the Miami fans that are talking all that shit, they're talking about they're going to be in South Bend. Oh, my mama, my boy, don't let me be there. Because if I'm there, I'm going to be on the Section 3, Row 1, Seat 1, talking my shit to all you Miami fans and let y'all know that we stand on business, my boy. We want that run back. And get ready. We're going to go toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, punch for punch, blow for blow. And I'm going to be there. John Christmas ball. You have a nice day type of shit.
Ooh, Luis, you're ready to go into the weekend, buddy.
Absolutely, boss. And here, look. And my colleagues already know. My boy's ready to go. That we stand on business all day at Notre Dame. We talk shit all day, every day. And we're going to be ready for anybody, anytime, any place this coming up season. And I need all y'all to be there 110%. We're not being cocky. We're on a revenge tour. We ain't taking shit from nobody.
I like it, Luis. Hey, have a good day, buddy. Be safe out there, okay?
For real. Hey, go Irish. Hey, shout out to my boy Renee, man. I love the chat. I'm sorry, guys. You guys go way too fast for me. By the time I look, there's like 500 messages, and I can't read all of them. But I just love the fact that we got that always Irish chat going on that are participating. And, you know, and when Renee called me and told me, hey, what do you think? I'm like, bro, run it. Shoot it. Like, that's tight. And everybody that's in it, Lane, the cartoon characters that they made, all of that, like I love all y'all, man. Like I really do. You know, you guys gave me a different perspective and it, like, you know what I'm going through personally, but you guys give me another reason of like, just keep my sobriety going, man. Like you guys are everything to me. And you too, John, your dad, your mom, everybody. Like, dude, I'm so like jelly because I couldn't be at the blue and gold game. Cause like, you know, like I said, I'm a single parent. I had to be there for my little one. I had to make shit happen for him. I had to show my son that in my prom year, I didn't have nobody to help me out. So I made sure that I made a night event memorable for my son, and that's it. You know, that's my last one. Now it's all about me. Ain't no more. My son's 18. He's out the door. I ain't even tripping. You know what I mean? It's all about me going to every single Notre Dame football game I got in my lifetime. I don't give a damn if I have 2 more years, 3 more years, 5 more years. I'm going to live every day to the fullest, and I'm going to be talking shit to everybody that this is Notre Dame country, Notre Dame land, Notre Dame nation. We out.
Have a good one, man. Be safe out there. I love that, man. James, I'm sorry. You keep popping on and off. I don't know if it's a connectivity thing or what, but I was going to bring you up. I'll look for you. Andrew, BYU so much better at home than on the road. It's going to be a struggle. Here's the issue I'm going to have with this. Okay. Notre Dame's going to be double-digit favorites in those first, 6 games? You cannot have BYU be your first big test and you lay an egg and can't win. You can't win all those games where you're favored by, double digits and all that, no problem. And then the first real test you have when you're expected to be a title level team, you can't beat BYU. I'm not okay with that, man. I'm not okay with that. That tells me that it's Notre Dame's being just pumped up for no reason. I can't handle that. I can't handle the idea that you're going to be a huge favorite in those first batch of games. And then I'm supposed to be okay. The first tough one you have after halfway through the year, it's a big struggle. Rubs me the wrong way. Bachmeier, BYU, their coach, tough road game, try hard team. Well, the Samoan try hard family effort, the whole thing. I understand it. I'm just personally going to be real mad. I'm going to be real mad. You got to wait half the damn year to play a good team, and then you're going to struggle and then lose. I can't, dude. Go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl then. Go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. If you can't beat BYU on the road, you deserve to play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Okay. Renee, what's up, baby?
No fucking puedo. I'm gone 3 years. No puedo. Now we're going to do that fucking thing. Oh, sorry. Oh, hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Watch your profanity. Watch profanity. Hold on, sorry, Johnny.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing. Hey, so real quick, man. I just want to stay on topic and touch on the things. Hey, Dabble, I'm really disappointed on Dabble really taking a shot at us, man. As classy as he's been, and when the dog shit SEC was rigging college football, he's the only one to give him a run, man. So I'm really disappointed in him.
Renee, what do you think it is? Do you think that's a guy who's just frustrated with his circumstances now and he's lashing out, or what?
I do, man. Look, when I got out and I got back into coaching, I was coached by a dude that said, "Hey, man, tuck your shirt in. Nobody could have their shirt tucked in. You couldn't fat your shoes." He's an old Greek dude, right? Real old school. His dad made him his dad would make him pull out every nail when they got rid of stuff and redent it and reuse it. Okay, so I was coached by a dude like that. But in my coaching days, I had to take a step back and be like, what am I doing wrong when we weren't winning? And the thing was that those times have kind of passed them. They've passed Dabble. Dabble refuses to admit it because the truth be told, I mean, bro, look at his record. He said it, 4-2 against us. Beat Auburn 3 straight times. Beat Alabama twice in national title. I mean, his resume sums it up, bro. So that's a hard pill for a dude like that to swallow. Especially, like I tell you, in the era where the SEC rigged it. And the proof is all in the pudding that they rigged it. The 13th game, I've told you, the junior high playing teams, especially one before rival week. Ed Ogeron admitting it, that the bag is now waiting for you at the front door when it was in the back. John, not traveling west of Texas. Now that we got that out of the way, I think Dabble is. It's like, hey, in a sense, maybe his ego and his ego's hit a little bit. You know what I mean? But like in everything and everything, things change. And Dabble kind of is letting that ship go behind. I was the biggest against NIL until I researched it more. Like I said, the kid from Michigan that came to Utah State. So I had a lot of good friends that went to Utah State, had players that went to Utah State. So I followed the only Utah team that I like. And he said, hey, I just wanted to play football. Not all of us are making millions like, CJ Carr and all them, And then what the NIL do? It leveled the playing field. That's why Signetti, dog shit, wannabe tough guy trash, won that national title. And then Kent can say whatever he wants. The reason why I kind of give Kent the credit, because Kent can say, I love my boy. I do. I love how he's bougie. I love his fire. I love how he comes. And he's gonna talk to shit. Yeah, and I got his back 100. I'm not gonna run my mouth. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna let my actions do the talking. If If I show somebody a speed bag lesson like high and belly at face value, it's gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna be through action. And the thing is, Ohio State, we haven't beat them in 100 years. That's why I don't give Kent too much pushback. You know what I mean? Other than the fact that he's on a Notre Dame chat more than he's on his own thing. But I don't know why Dabble said that. I think he's frustrated. But to take a shot at us like that, you know what I mean? Considering when Marcus has been nothing but classy with him, I'm really disappointed in that one. You know what I mean? Like really. But okay, and that's that. As far as the schedule, John. As far as the schedule, I love it, man. I love the primetime slots. I love that the national media is gonna be like, hey, either rooting against us 100% like always, or they're gonna be like, hey, this is why they're gonna see this team is out for what last year, and they're gonna pump us up and it's basically like a media tour. The way they did against us, right? The way they ran that campaign against us, why Miami should get in over us. I think this is a front face value of Notre Dame being able to show the country, like in the past, at prime time, over the SEC trash, over what other games they think are going to be important. You know what I mean, John? John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. We're just trying to figure out what the hell you're building.
Oh, you want to know what I'm building? Ironically, I'm building a police department. This Catholic convict is building a police department.
That's funny, man. Make one of the stairs loose or do something.
Hey, okay. And then so this is what I'm gonna tell you. This is what I found out. BYU didn't include the Notre Dame game in their season ticket package. What does that tell you about that game? Now, Sly Fox called me West Tom Renee, but hey, man, Johnny, you summed it up right now, bro. With them boys, with Kalani and the culture and the tradition and him being an old player, and Kalani was a good player. Kalani coached with Kyle Whittingham all those years and ran that defense at Utah. So, hey, and plus, last time, let me tell you, Raider Stadium holds about 60,000 people. And that was a Notre Dame home game in Vegas. The last time we played in 22, there was maybe 28 to 30,000 BYU fans there. You know what I mean? And it was a home game for Notre Dame. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. That they're coming. They're coming for us, man. All the signs are. I think it's going to come down to the wire. You know what I mean? But that's really the sleeper trap game that I don't think people should be overlooking. And the last thing I just want to tell you. Let's get over this whole doubting Freeman shit, man. It's old. It's played out, man. I understand that we can't like continue to, you go from the national title to being left out one year. Okay, that I understand that, but like I said, my 4 points that I put up on top of everything else, man, that he's doing, recruiting kids that fit the culture, the fact that in a world that's upside down, he's creating better men, not just better athletes, man. This is what I talked to him about. If you fired him and he went 8-4, you had a disastrous of a year with the Heisman Trophy candidate. Who are you hiring? Who? Ed Orgeron? Dan Lanning? You hiring Nick Saban? Who are you hiring? Who in college football right now would keep the culture at Notre Dame the way he's going? That's a legitimate question, isn't it, John? Who?
Yeah, it's a very legitimate question. Marcus Freeman is the right guy at the right time in this modern era to be Notre Dame's coach. He is.
Exactly. Okay.
Perfect. It doesn't mean that he's perfect, but he's the right coach at the right time.
Okay, and this is the last point I'm going to leave you with that me and Lynn we're talking about. Kyron Williams, Will Fuller, Michael Floyd, even like I think Jonas Gray, Prince Shimbo, the Love brothers. Who's recruited those? Kelly's, right? Kelly's. All dudes that have either played for a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, made a point in the NFL, made a ding in the NFL. I think Prince Shimbo had an amazing rookie year. But here's the thing. Here's the proof. You couldn't do shit with those players. That means those were athletes that you had. Because obviously it shows now that they're at a higher level. So that's my solidification right there. You couldn't do nothing with those dudes. but they move on to another system, and they're succeed. They're not just succeeding, man. They're surpassing their peers in the league that they're in. So, hey, all of you dudes doubting, sorry, man, but I think Beefeater's not gonna let you in at the door for the celebration party for the national title, man. When you have it, John. Hey, John, I love you, buddy, man. I love the guys, man. Onward, Notre Dame, bro.
Be safe out there, man. Dude, these guys are working hard, man. This is a working man show. Son of a buck, these guys are out there grinding. Andrew, here's my problem with this. I'm not saying we're going to lose to BYU, but it's going to be an interesting game. ND doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. They folded like a cheap suit in Miami with the humidity. Here's the issue. Remember when I was saying in summer when we were heading into camp last year, I wanted those guys in that indoor facility, no AC, steamed up like a steam room where the humidity, it's like I want plants to start growing on the wall, like an aquarium that's all, when you're building a humid aquarium or whatever, or like a lizard cage, man. You ever have that friend that was a snake lizard guy and they would have like those aquariums and it would be like a nature scene and whatever. I wanted them sweating in there, 110% humidity, doing all this so you're ready to go to Miami. We get out there, and you got your right tackle swinging and missing, flailing his arms, just losing full control of his body, can't do anything. And then I hear, well, it was really humid there, and that got to him, and so that's why he played bad or whatever. Yeah, and that's not okay. Like, I don't understand. That doesn't make it okay. You weren't physically prepared for that moment. But it's just like a throwaway thing. It's like, well, why did he look that bad? Well, it was really humid and he cramped up. Yeah, and that's not okay. So, and now, we need to train our guys like NASA. That's what we need to do. We need to get a fake shuttle to put it in the Goog, and everybody could train like they're on Apollo 13, and they could get used to the weather, get used to the hot, get used to the mountains. Why don't you get used to beating the shit out of everybody regardless? Get used to that. It just bothers me. There's always an excuse. Oh, BYU's up high. Miami's down low. Just go win. I don't know. What do you want to do? The guy cramped up. What do you want me to say? Be in good enough shape. You don't cramp up. Might have costed the guy get drafted, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, those lowlights of you looking like you're having a seizure trying to get your hands on somebody coming off the edge. I'm sorry. It's not okay, man. It's always an excuse. Whatever, man. It's just really annoying, but it's just like, oh, well, you can't hold it against them that they cramped up in the heat. Why the hell not? The job of this program was to prepare all summer in August to handle that moment. Now we're going to outer space. Now we're going to the moon. So get them one of those little things they do for NASA where they do the shortness of breath and you get used to it or whatever. Maybe they can float to Provo. It's always an excuse, man. Too hot. Now it's too high in the mountains. What's next? Just go win. Just go win, man. Just go win. WPP, what's going on? WPP is not going on. He just dropped off. He didn't want to talk to me after all. He didn't want to talk to me after.
I can't understand you.
Mangoes, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Domer fans? How we're doing today?
We're doing okay. Hey, listen, man. I know you're not obviously from your logo, not a Notre Dame guy, but you're fair with Notre Dame things. What's your interpretation of Notre Dame's schedule? What do you make of it? Are we overdoing it, or is it going to be a little trickier for Notre Dame to navigate than we think? I would like to know an outsider's perspective.
That's a really good question because, like when you're looking at the preseason and then you look at the past years of what team has done, especially which coaches that they have, and especially the program's culture, you can easily say, oh, we can beat Wisconsin, Rice, and so on, or SMU. But it's just really hard to graph when you see the preseason and then you get into the offseason. Like, for an example, Joel Klatt believed that Caleb Klubnik from Clemson was going to win the Heisman, and lo and behold, I always keep doing that. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman and wins the national championship, which was on nobody's radar. So, to answer that question, to answer that question, I would say that Notre Dame has to live up the expectations. Marcus Freeman is at year 5. You guys are now starting to pull together good recruiting classes. You're taking full advantage of the transfer portal. And then Notre Dame, here's the thing. You guys became very close like Clemson, because there was that we're an academic like that. Notre Dame has a traditional problem. This is what cost Lou Holtz his job, was that we're an academic institution, not a jock institution. Now Notre Dame seems like the administration side is like, you know what? Let's go ahead and be the best of football and be the best in the books. You know what I mean? Like the mentality aspect. And it just changed. But what I'm saying is that Notre Dame's got to live up to their expectations. You got a good coach. You got a good system. Mike Denbrock is actually a lot. I think he's kind of like an underrated offensive coordinator. But you guys have it together. And most importantly, Notre Dame has to be very aggressive. They got to play angry. I mean, I've seen it happen with my Buckeyes. You're not beating an Ohio State team when they're pissed off. Like we saw that in the playoffs. We smashed everybody in our way. When we won our national championship. But the point is that you guys have to live up the expectation schedule. That's so hard. I mean, it's hard. So let me give you the conclusion on that question. I would say that take it week by week, but you should win all of your games. I do believe that you guys are going to beat the holy shit out of Wisconsin. Like you guys are going to come out very angry, but
I like the sound of that. I always struggle with wanting to have confidence, but not being crossing the line into cocky where it gets dangerous. And I'm just wondering where that line is for the actual football team. Nobody cares what I do in my basement other than Omar. Yeah. But I mean, like, how do you balance having confidence, but not crossing into the line where it's irresponsible and reckless cockiness? That's the line I need Notre Dame to straddle and navigate.
Yeah, and that's also brand power. Sometimes you just got to throw your weight because F you, I'm Notre Dame, or F you, we're Ohio State. You guys, okay, so being Notre Dame, you guys got brand power, and it just pisses everybody off because you're not in a conference, but yet you're still having the same political power as one school having one athletic director from an independent team like Notre Dame that has damn near close to the same power as an athletic director from the Big Ten. That pisses people off real funny in a funny way. But when you're looking at Notre Dame, though, it's I kind of lost track of my own thought on that one. Whoopsies. Go on.
It happens to me all the time. You just keep it moving.
Shoot, man. Wow, that doesn't happen all the time, man. Holy crap. Wow. I honestly lost track of my own thought because holy crap. Guide me back into the question where we're at. Sorry.
Yeah, I think weren't we talking about navigating the schedule and how Notre Dame should handle that, and Wisconsin and whatever else?
Yeah, that doesn't help me get back on track to the question about Wisconsin. I would. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, wow, I'm gonna have to repeat myself, but no, I literally lost track of what I was saying. But the thing is that you do like you got to throwing the weight around. Oh yeah, cockiness and arrogance. That's what it was. Yeah, like sometimes you just got to throw your weight around. I mean, like, yeah, you guys lost to two teams, but they went up to the playoffs, one of them to the final. It happens, but there is a balance though. But you got to make sure that first off, if you love your team and you have confidence in your team, don't give a damn what anyone else thinks. You guys are already the bad guys of college football in the best way possible, you know. And you just guys got to live with that. Like the example that you brought up earlier, like it's best to tell a player just go, you know. Just go. It's best for them not to know what they don't do, so don't overthink things, you know. And following, I didn't follow Notre Dame until, of course, Marcus Freeman. But when you see old Notre Dame play, and then you see with Marcus Freeman, they play at a different level, and that's why I'm very confident. And don't forget, I got stake in this too because he's from Ohio State. You guys, sorry to break it to you. You know, you can say that he's 100% Irish, but I say he's 50% Irish, 50% Buckeye because, of course, he comes from Ohio State. You know, but on a serious note, though, you gotta understand that, you know, on the outside, from what I'm seeing, your guys' football team has played on an unprecedented Notre Dame level since probably Lou Holtz took them there, and that's why I'm so confident, believe that Notre Dame will beat. I just hope that they beat the shit out of everybody that they come. I mean, like literal anger, don't care, like head busting football. I really hope they bring that because you guys definitely need it. You guys got shafted so bad in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's man, I hope they carry that anger and that frustration and put it into their focus on their play. It's just it's everything's right there for Notre Dame, man. They got the talent. The schedule's very favorable. The way it lays out, it's all about the execution now. Like you've got enough talent. You just got to go out there and make the plays.
Absolutely, and I'll close out with this. I'll do like a happy. I'll sound off with a happy one. You know, so like in my personal life, I'm actually getting into a career that I can actually get better footing in my life. You know, but I'll say this much, man. When that time comes, man, I'll love to come to one of your guys' tailgates and cook you guys some food because, man, I'll tell you something. I know how to fucking cook, and I'll do barbecue for you guys. Pulled pork and
man, that's a very generous offer coming from an Ohio State fan. The only concern I have is that, like, what if you're playing us and you're gonna like taint all the meat? So we all have diarrhea in the game. You know what I mean? Like you're serving it out to all of us. We all eat it, and then we're all running for the whole game. I don't know. You better not wear Ohio State stuff, or nobody's gonna eat the food you make.
No. The game, okay, the game that I would come for there will be let's say for an example, hypothetically, this is not me dropping a hen off or anything, but let's say that I was coming this year, it'll be the Michigan State game because if I'm going out there, I'm going to support and cheer on Notre Dame. I want to have the full fan experience because I experienced that with Nebraska. Nebraska actually has a great atmosphere, and that's funny. That's funny, drunken Vika. But you know, Nebraska football here in Lincoln, they actually have a great atmosphere in the stadium. It's beautiful, especially at nighttime. So I understand the pageantry of each particular fan base. Like one of my bucket lists is go to see Texas, see the ice of Texas upon you, and also the Rocky Top Tennessee. That looks so bad but I'll definitely go there to cheer on Notre Dame and support them. I'm definitely not picking a game when we're playing against each other because that'll make things really awkward really quick, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
One, man. But hey, you're for an Ohio State guy, you're very fair with Notre Dame, and have had said some really nice things to Notre Dame. So like, as far as Ohio State people go, you're like on the kind of the good side of the ledger if there is one.
Yeah, I mean, well, you've been really respectful to my team and my faith. You said one thing about Ohio State that
we haven't beat you in 100 years. What
Well,
else
hold on.
could I do?
Well, John, I'm going to call you out on one thing, and I've forgiven you. It's not like I'm mad about it. But I remember this because you pissed me the ever living off so bad when you said about when you're taking shots about Ohio State not beating Michigan. You did say in 24 in July, it was at the end of July, you're like, what is good, Ohio State? You guys can't beat Michigan. Beating Michigan is your only purpose. That's the only thing you guys are good for. And you can't do it. You're useless in the college football. Oh, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. We've been beating these guys for 20 years. We have to be years.
Good memory. You have a good memory because I remember going on that rant being like, dude, if you're not beating Michigan, you really serve no purpose here. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that pissed me off. But hey, look, dude, it's that's the only thing, but it doesn't piss me off now. It's like, well, we beat Michigan. No one shouldn't be saying Ohio State can't beat Michigan because we've been doing it for 2 decades straight, and that's a different story. But you've been always respectful about Ohio State. You've been fair, and you ask me questions, and like you're definitely a stand-up guy, especially when you're taking criticism by other people who are just being unfair and not objective with Notre Dame, which is not fair because Notre Dame has a lot good things going for them, and they just hate you guys because you guys have the same political power as one team versus a whole conference, man. And I'll tell you what, man, you guys deserve every bit of the glory that's coming your way. Stay strong, keep your head high. I understand the doubts are still there because you guys seen your team for your whole lifetime, but it's coming. You guys are so damn close. You guys are so damn close. These seniors coming in your team right now, open up that door. And Urban Meyer said that once you go through that door, everything feels different. It tastes different. It smells different. Everything is just different. You guys went through that, and that hunger is going to be there. And then what you look at the offseason, how you guys got treated when you opted out of your bowl game, that's why I'm confident, because I do believe in my heart that there's a lot of anger in that football team ready to explode in every single Saturday coming up. And I hope I get to see that. If I don't, then I'll eat crow in the end of November. But until then, I'll go ahead and sign off, man. Thanks a lot. You're respectful. You guys are great. Thank you to, shout out to a special fan of yours, Domer Soli. He really thinks I'm in the closet Notre Dame fan. Maybe, but not quite. You guys take care, man. Thanks a lot. God bless. See you next time.
Have a good weekend, man. Thanks for the kind words. You want to not like the guy, but he's always kind of pumping up Notre Dame. It could just be a ruse. And you better not be wearing that Ohio State stuff. You're going to be cooking us dinner in the parking lot. No one's going to trust it. WPP, good morning.
Hey, John, it's Pat from West Palm. Can you hear me?
I certainly can. Thank you for joining the program on a Friday. What's going on?
No, I wanted to apologize. I was on about 15 minutes ago, and then my cell phone rang, and it's a long story. I had to jump. So I had to disconnect, but I don't know if I was connected with you or not. But if I was, I apologize. I didn't mean to hang up on you.
No, yeah, it's all good, man. And I do realize when you get a phone call, when you're doing the login thing for this, it gets a little complicated. I'm glad you're back. What's on your mind, man? We were talking about the schedule a little bit. I don't know if having an Ohio State person on bothered you. Like, I don't know where you're at.
Well, I never like to hear from the Ohio State crew, but that's not why I'm calling in. No, I wanted to first say that the guy from the Orange County alumni group, Matt Belter, really good guy. I don't know if you interface with him at all, John.
Yeah, him and I have gotten to know each other. The more, building into the tailgate we did last year for USC and then putting together the Miami one this year, getting to know him, man, he does a really good job. There's a lot of responsibility when you're in charge of one of those clubs or a part of it, and the responsibility you got to take on to grow it. I didn't realize how involved it was. He does a lot of hard, genuine work on behalf of loving Notre Dame. Really good guy to get to know.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a thankless job. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, all you do is field complaints from people about their tickets. But he's a really good guy, and I wanted to make sure he gets recognized because, I was a beneficiary of his, getting some tickets from his club. And so I just wanted to say that. And I just want to say that about this. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. Nope. I appreciate it. And he's been a joy to get to know. And I'm excited to do the Miami tailgate with his group this year. It's going to be great.
Oh, is his tailgate your tailgate for the Miami game?
Yeah. Him and I, we combined for the USC one last year. And now we're going to combine for the Miami one this year. And because he's with the alumni club, they get the spot in the quad, not in the parking lot, like a good setup with the tent and everything. So yeah, the Miami one will be with his group, and then the Rice one will just be my group regular.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, he invited me, and then he mentioned you guys. I wasn't clear if it was the same tailgate.
Yep.
But yeah, nice guy, very good guy. But quickly about football with the schedule, we've traded USC for BYU, and that's a downgrade in schedule, right? Because I think USC is the better program. And then this year we've traded Michigan State for Michigan State, and that's a downgrade. And so I don't know how people say this is a good Notre Dame schedule. Just even recent history, it's a lot weaker than it's ever been. And I think that frankly every Notre Dame team since 2017 could run the table against this schedule. I just don't think it's a strong schedule at all.
Which is, it doesn't have to be if you go 11-1 or 12-0, but like, that's the problem. If you're not even, if they slip up, they're going to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like that's the thin razor's edge of having a lighter Notre Dame schedule is if you take care of business, you get rewarded. But man, if they slip up one time they're not expected to, or not on the radar, you're looking at the Pop-Tart Bowl, and it's going to be a disaster. You're on the razor's edge with the schedule like this.
Yeah, I think we could probably deal with one defeat. 2 defeats, I don't know. I mean, 2 defeats puts us on the bubble. Depends on who they are and how close the games are,
WPP, I got to tell you what hurts, man. And I know you'll feel this. I'm doing all the off-season stuff, and you're looking at the schedule, big picture and whatever. I got so used to, for all of my life, always having Notre Dame and USC on that schedule in my back pocket as a heated moment, no matter how good or bad each team is. It really, really hurts me to go to look at the back end of that schedule. And instead of Thanksgiving in LA, at the Coliseum, it's Syracuse. And dude, it hurts. I hate it. It hurts.
Yeah, it's not just that. I mean, we lost the Michigan series too. I mean, we used to kick off each season playing Michigan. And when we didn't play Michigan, we would play, we'd swap in Ohio State back in 95 and 96. And then we'd swap in a team like Nebraska in 2000 and 2001. I mean, we always had a big, early season matchup. And then we had a big end of the season matchup with USC on even numbered years. I don't know. It's just a shame how the schedule's become watered down. And then these night games, I could see you got to do a couple night games a year for the money, for the TV ratings and stuff. But
yeah,
4 night games. I mean, I was at Notre Dame in the fall of 1990 when they played Michigan at night, and the student body got so intoxicated that the president of the school said never again. And they went I want to say they went like 10 years, without another night game. That's how drunk the whole crew was at that game, which was my first home game as a student. And now we've totally flipped the script, and now we play not exclusively at night, but mostly at night.
So WPP, you have 4 of those games already because they're on the home side of the slate. That doesn't even include whatever night games or away games are going to get flexed into primetime. You could end up with more than half of the season being at night. If we have 4, what if BYU gets pushed into night on the road? That's 5. You're looking at 6 or 7 night games here, man.
Yeah, I don't know how the team travels. You know what I mean? Like if they were playing, just make up a team, going to Miami, do they have a private jet or do they fly commercial? I mean, how do they get back to South Bend
Don't they
before.
have a big charter? Like, don't they rent a big plane just for the team? I don't think they own one like Robert Kraft has that full-size plane for the Patriots. I don't think they have that. I think they just charter one and then fly, in a big plane, but it isn't John Q. Public. It's just the team. I'm pretty sure that's what they do. And that's, by the way, WPP, that's different than the private small aircraft always available for the Notre Dame head coach to go recruit. Some coaches put more miles on that plane than others, and we'll just leave it at that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize they had a private. Good for them, because I don't see how you don't get, you're way behind getting back to school after a night game, and then jumping on a plane the next day. You'd have to, I don't know, you guess you could fly that night. I don't know, whatever. Good for them. But yeah, no, I think the schedule is just weak. It's kind of a shame. But that's the way we are. That's our philosophy now, is to, it used to be Notre Dame took on all comers, and now it looks like we're doing the Indiana model of playing chump teams all season long.
Couldn't it just be that this one year happens to be kind of a lighter year on the schedule? I mean, you do have series coming up with Alabama and Texas. So it's not like they're trying to not play anybody with the pulse moving forward and then add in 5 ACC games. You do have those series with Texas and Alabama coming around the bend.
Well, I actually think Alabama is going to be a team on the decline very soon. I was shocked. I just learned yesterday that Texas A&M snatched Alabama's starting offensive tackle, and they took a receiver from Alabama that scored 8 touchdowns last year. 8 touchdowns. And here we are, hoping and praying these Ohio State kids can play. Texas A&M got a kid that can play. 8 touchdowns playing in the SEC. That's not a fluke player. So I don't like Alabama's chances going forward. I think that team that's going to be a 5-loss team pretty soon.
Ooh,
perhaps as early as
that's a big problem because they just extended their coach like 7 years, didn't they? That would be a big issue if they start trending the other way.
Yeah, but you know how these extensions go. They could fire him next year.
Yeah,
these contracts don't mean anything.
Yeah. So
anyway, John, I have to get running here. I got to jump to a conference call at noon. But sorry for hanging up earlier.
That's okay, man. Hey, it happens. I'm glad you jumped in. Have a good weekend, brother. And we'll talk to you on the Patreon chat.
All right, man. Take care.
Have a good weekend. Oh, man. God, I love the personalities around this show are amazing. Just top to bottom, all from me and how weird I am to everybody else. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. In Notre Dame's defense, when we schedule Wisconsin and Purdue, they were much better programs. Yeah. And it's like, that's true. And then it's like, if you're my age, Michigan State was circled as a big game on the schedule. When they were like the D'Antonio years, it was like a physical, defensive, low-scoring, running game, good defense, hard-hitting, grinded-out battle. Like, Michigan State Notre Dame was a big damn deal. When I was like 20 years old, playing Michigan State was a big damn deal. And it's just, they've fallen off. It's just hard to like look at them the same. But man, I remember all those hard-fought D'Antonio games and it was a big deal. So I don't know, man. It's just, and it's like, you have Michigan State on the schedule. That shouldn't be looked at as like scheduling weekly. Like, that's some of the problem with this. People are going to go, oh, Michigan State, they're terrible. Notre Dame doesn't schedule anybody. Why is it Notre Dame's fault Michigan State isn't a better program? Why is that Notre Dame's fault? Like, they fell off. Purdue fell off. Wisconsin fell off. Stanford, that's another one. Stanford used to be a top 15 matchup every year with David Shaw, and they would, and whatever, and Andrew Luck with Harbaugh, all this stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for the show. Thanks for being here. We went a full 2 hours, a lot of energy on I can't wait to see John rant rage about Pat Fitzgerald. Yeah, there's a lot there. And I did tell you guys, I have a soft spot for Pat Fitzgerald because when I lived across the street from Northwestern Stadium, I'm on the upper level and I'd get ready before the sun comes up and look out and see his office with the light on and see him in there grinding. And there's nothing going on in that stadium. 5:15 in the morning, one light's on, and it's Pat Fitzgerald up there doing work. I had a soft spot for him for that. But the rest of it, forget it. He hated Notre Dame because he didn't get recruited by Notre Dame, went to Northwestern. The 1 year out of 100, they're good at football. You get to come beat Notre Dame at our place and ruin everything. Good job. He beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame with Northwestern when Brian Kelly couldn't figure out how to run out the clock to win the game. That was too much to ask, and we fumbled and they won. Fitzgerald don't like Notre Dame. He don't like Notre Dame. But it's year one, and there's a lot of work to be done there to get that roster where it needs to be at Michigan State. Anyways, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Have a safe, good weekend. We'll talk to you. You guys are great. Thank you.